Hey everyone, GameHounds podcast. How are you? Let's see. Let me make sure that we have the correct settings on our Twitch. Uh, Make sure it is. There we go. Saving the changes. All right. Hi everyone. Sorry we're late. Just getting stuff ready for the show. You will notice we're not going to talk about Starfield, and I will tell you why we're not going to talk about Starfield in a second. Do I have a copy? Yes, I have a copy. We will go over.
Do I have questions? Yes, I do.
Yes, you do. We will go over the Constellation edition because I do have that. That's why I have my Starfield. Hey, we got people in the chat room. Who is in here? So yeah, we're just wait for people to come in. And when AC Braith gets here, I may have to dip out for a second, and then we will start the show. So Nick and I are going to go see a movie tomorrow in person.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to go see the Barbie movie.
Gonna have dinner at the theater.
Right, we're going to go to a dinner theater, which is awesome. I love the fact that that is a thing. What else is going on? Oh, just so much chaos and getting ready for this.
Yeah, the trip it's a month away now. It's coming up.
Yeah, so I told you I was going to getting my scuba license, right?
No, but that's
Yeah.
cool.
Oh, well, maybe. I signed up for it and paid my $700 to get it. And it's like on the website. It's like, hey, we'll get it to you real cool, fast. You do some online work, then there's a 4-hour meeting, a Zoom meeting, and then you'll spend 8 hours or 12 hours, something like that, in a pool for pool training. And then you have to do 2 check dives. But here's the thing. If you go on your vacation, you could probably do your check dives on your vacation. That's like,
Okay.
cool. That actually works out because there's definitely going to be somebody do a check dive in Bali because Bali is what's considered like for scuba divers, it's a bucket list place. Scuba diving is huge in Bali. So I sign up for it. I pay for it. It's $600 and you get no refunds. Well, you can get refunds up to 48 hours before the class starts, but you don't get $150 back for the e-materials, which is bullshit because it's e-materials. It doesn't cost them anything. But
No,
still.
yeah.
Then as soon as you pay the money and they're like, okay, now sign up for your profile at my SSI, which is like this global organization for registering and confirming that you have your licensing and all that stuff, right?
Global Scuba Register.
Yeah, it's a global scuba register. Absolutely. Okay. Absolutely. That's how they check to see that you have a scuba license before they rent you scuba equipment.
So do you need this if I'm a tourist, I'm going to go to Bali and I want to do some scuba diving? I need this license to do any of it?
Oh, fuck yes. Unless you bring your own equipment, you cannot scuba dive without that license. Because the first 30 feet is the most dangerous in scuba diving. You can very much get yourself harmed or killed by doing dumb shit under the water. And it's not dumb shit that you would think about being dumb shit. You know, it's kind of like flying a plane, except you're flying yourself underwater. You should know how to do it safely. So yeah, it's serious shit.
Okay.
So you must go into my SSI and you get yourself registered. Then you have to like upload your like release of liability. You have to upload a questionnaire about your health. And then one of the questions is, are you over 45? It's like, well, yes. And like, okay, cool. You need to go get a medical clearance.
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, but I have nothing else. No, like anything else. You have to go to a medical clearance. I'm like, okay, that sucks. And of course, I go through the medical clearance. I'd like the notes for physicians to get a medical clearance. And it's things like, are you an amputee? Do you have irritable bowel disease? Have you had ischemic strokes in the past? Do you have a brain stent? Are you developmentally disabled? It's like, No. None of these things have anything to do with you being 45.
Okay, so is it just an extra questionnaire you need to fill out, or do you need to like make an appointment with your doctor? Oh, that's a pain in the ass.
Not a pain in the ass. It's an expensive pain in the ass because, of course, chances are your insurance company, your insurance doesn't cover you going to the doctor for a medical clearance. So you got to pay out of pocket for that shit. Right? Right? Okay. But don't worry. Okay. So maybe it takes you 2 months to get in to see your doctor. We've got a solution. You can go to a specialized diving physician and they'll do it for you. This is what they do all day, every day.
Okay.
I haven't even looked, but I can guarantee you that's going to cost me $250, $300 more.
Probably.
To ask me a bunch of questions like, are you an amputee? I think that's pretty obvious.
Are you? Let me test. Me high five. Give me the other high five. Now kick my shins. Okay, good. They all
I'm not an amputee. I think that would be pretty obvious that I'm not that if I'm lying about being an amputee, I think you'd know.
So does that mean that an amputee can't go scuba diving?
You can. You have to get a medical clearance.
Oh, okay.
So I'm going to walk into the doctor's office. They're going to charge me $300. I'm going to look at them and go, no. What medications am I on? An anti-inflammatory for my knee. Okay, cool. Bye. If you were 44 and 364 days when you fill out that form, you're not lying.
Okay. How does the scuba license cost anything?
The scuba, well, the scuba, I don't know if the scuba license costs anything. I think it probably does. Scuba licensing does.
Okay.
But the training cost me $700 total.
Oh, that's right. You still got to do the training to get the license.
Got to do the training to get the license.
Okay. How long
even if I canceled now, because it's like, I don't have time to do all of this stuff before I leave. You made a big deal about how you can get it in one weekend. But you didn't say if you're 45, you got to make an appointment with your doctor or pay another $300. And wait for it, you need 3 additional first aid classes. They didn't mention that. You need to take first CPR, you need to take first aid, and you need to take O2 first aid.
How long does this license last?
I don't know. I don't know.
It
doesn't matter. I'm probably not going to get it because I do not have time to get a PhD in order to and a medical clearance to go.
I'm wondering, should I make a point to get my scuba license before I'm 45 just to avoid the hassle?
Yes, absolutely. If you are under 45 and you ever think in your life you will ever go scuba diving, go get your scuba diving license now because it will get a lot more expensive later. Man, and of course, you go to scuba diving sites and they're like, it's great for all ages and blah, 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 blah.
How do kids get a scuba license?
Well, they don't have to take that. They're not 45.
No, but like
parents sign off. You can get a scuba diving license at age 12.
Oh my God.
So a 13-year-old can do it, but I can't. Not without a doctor to sign off to say I don't have like what's some of them on? I'm not schizophrenic.
Irritable bowel syndrome. Oh,
I'm not schizophrenic.
Yeah. I'm happy that you're going to Bali. I think it'll be a fun trip. But also hearing all of the horror stories about your prep makes me think, God, I like just staying home.
No, it's gonna be worth it. It's totally gonna be worth it. But
I'm sure it'll be worth it for you, but I don't know. I don't know if I would go through all that. That's a lot of prep and chaos.
So I'm not seeing
a lot of
AC Wraith. Is AC Wraith not here?
He's not in the comment section yet.
Who's on? I can't see. There's only one person in. I'm wondering if something's wrong.
Yeah, I mean, we're live on Twitch and YouTube. Oh, he's here.
Okay, cool. AC Wraith. All right, cool. Oh, actually, it looks out like my friend, the physician's assistant, just sent me a text like 10 minutes ago.
About
Sent your medical certificate just now. Let me know if it needs something. Oddly, they didn't ask explicitly for my license or my NPI number or anything. So I got my friend to do it for me. Yeah, I called up my doctor and said, "Hey, I'd like to see if you will do this, if you'll sign off on this medical certificate." And they call me back up and they're like, "We're not really comfortable with doing a medical certificate since you haven't been seen and you're due. You're due for your annual checkup." I'm like, "Sweetie, it is not that kind of medical license. They do not care what my blood glucose is. They want to know if I've had a history of strokes. If I've, have these like medical histories."
did
Not
did they do it?
They said, "Well, the only person that we can have you see is in person at 8:00 in the morning on the 5th of September," which of course I'm gonna have to pay for out of pocket. But now my friend who is a provider, licensed provider, I called him. I'm like, "Hey, would you be willing to sign this?" And he's like, "Well, let me see what the guidance is, and let me talk to somebody, a friend of mine who does this stuff." And I said, "I think it's just bureaucratic bullshit to make money." And I guess he spoke to the friend and also looked at the guidance, and he's like, "Yeah, I feel comfortable signing this." I mean, yeah, I feel comfortable that I can say authoritatively that, what are some of the other stupid bullshit that they
You're not
ask?
an amputee. You don't have irritable bowel syndrome. You're not schizophrenic.
There we go. I don't have bipolar disorder. I don't
Okay.
take. I don't have claustrophobia. I don't have. I'm not in heart failure. I don't have a heart murmur. I don't have atrial septal defects. I don't have uh, a severe. Let's see, gastric obstruction of a degree sufficient to produce recurrent vomiting.
That
Leukemia.
that second to last one you just said on its own sounds horrible.
Yeah.
A gas buildup to such a degree that it
No.
causes vomiting?
No. What was it? Gastric outlet obstruction.
Gas
There's some people that have bad guts.
Yeah.
They have lots of people that
That's
are born with birth defects can have real bad issues with their guts, that they are subject to frequent bowel obstructions, which can be
oh,
very, very dangerous.
yeah, that sounds that on its own.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
Parkinson's disease. I think he's like, "Yeah, I feel comfortable telling everybody you don't have Parkinson's."
Mhm.
Or multiple sclerosis. It's not that you can't do it. You just have to have the doctor go, "Yes, they're not they're healthy, and I it's okay if they scuba dive. They're not It's not, in my opinion, it's not unsafe for them to scuba dive." Hey, AC
There's a
Wraith,
horrible joke in some of these,
do
but
you have
I won't go
your
there.
Discord up?
Yeah, he
Because I
said he
need.
was reading about the thing we're not talking about yet.
No. He was reading about Starfield.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think he was reading about the other thing that I need to talk to him about. So, pull up your Discord. I need to have a side conversation with you. Doesn't look like it's going to become an issue since you're the only one here, but you never know.
Okay.
So,
I
I may
guess
have to jump out and actually speak with you. If you have a headset or a way to hear me, we might be easier if we do it over the phone. Okay, cool. You have that open. Did you not see the message? Oh, there you go. You're typing. Um, so, yeah, I'm gonna actually pull up. I'll probably have to speak at you rather than with you, but I want to do it over voice, not text, not typing it. So let me step out of the room, and Nick will carry the show for a little bit.
yes. I'll
Talk
I
talk about
I
what you've
will
been playing.
Yes, I will talk about Armored Core.
Talk about Armored Core. I will be right back.
Okay, now I think you all should be seeing my screen. Yes. I have continued to play more Armored Core, and the game continues to be really, really interesting. I think what new things I have to say after a week is that I'm liking it more and more. I'm liking the story more and more because it's sci-fi to a degree that at least I haven't seen a lot of. It's a super not necessarily fantastical, but like a super far-flung future military sci-fi where it, the way the world is set up, it seems like you have these dueling corporations uh planet hopping to extract resources. And so when they find out this planet, Rubicon, is full of, or still has, after suffering from a disaster that kind of destroyed the planet and all of its infrastructure, uh, it's discovered that, oh, there's still an abundance of a resource called coral. And these two corporations are like, hey, we want that. So they go there, they hire a whole mercenary, they have their own mercenary group, their own army, and they're kind of dueling it out between each other and the Rubicon natives that are still alive for access to the coral. But the way it's set up is that these corporations seem to go from planet to planet, extracting resources, spying on each other. They don't necessarily share resources, but they share armies. Like there's a mercenary group that follows these corporations and hires them out and is hired by each side. And so throughout the game, you can work for Corporation A or Corporation B, then go back to Corp A. And you do this like for various missions because they have their own goal of resource extraction. And you're just like following them in order to get a job. And it's such an interesting, like, big sci-fi idea that I find really, really cool. And seeing how it plays out, like, okay, now this corporation has an advantage and they're going to press it. And then what happens when we find the coral? What does that actually mean? Because your character, and this isn't a spoiler, your character kind of has a mysterious purpose. You're not actually a mercenary here just to do a job. From the very beginning, you find a downed uh, mech and you take their identity, and that becomes your mercenary identity. But you're not actually that mercenary. And so the question then becomes, who are you, and what are you doing here? And it's a really interesting question, really interesting world. And I think what I've liked more and more as I play it is that, and I think I said this before, unlike Dark Souls and unlike any other From Software game, the kind of defining characteristic of a lot of these big fights and hard levels isn't get good. You're not expected to just play the fight over and over again, learning the enemy's patterns, learning the timing of their attacks. No, change your mech, change your loadout. And that's the puzzle here that really affects how well or poorly you do. Just the other day, I was in a fight that just seemed impossible given the build that I had, because I kept trying. It was a super fast mech. I kept trying to get in close and cut him with the sword, a plasma sword, because that does a lot of damage. But every time I tried to get that melee attack, they would dodge backwards out of the way. And so I never got within range. So instead of just kind of hitting my head and trying to figure out the timing of, okay, when do they stand still, I just sold some equipment, bought dual Gatling guns on both of my arms, and the next time I fought them, I just spent the whole round vomiting ammunition at them. And so I never had one attack that was like, oh, this is my big attack that's going to do a lot of damage. Instead, I just had a build that did a little bit of damage constantly over time, and I beat the fight like second try. And so it's a an interesting and a really nice kind of weirdly accessible game in that you don't have to get good. You just have to figure out, what is my enemy weak against? Are they weak against lasers? Then I'm going to change my mech and load up on lasers. Are they weak against explosions? Are they slower? Then I'm going to load up with explosives and just like blast them with cannons whenever I can. Yeah. And the more I play, there's a weirdly hypnotic quality to it. Uh, the menu music when you're assembling your mech or buying parts is, like I said, kind of hypnotic. It's low key, but it's also kind of ominous, but it's a really good mood setter. And then whenever you go out on a mission, whenever you begin a sortie, uh you get a little cutscene of your mech like being loaded onto transport. And there's always two sentences that your handler or the person assigning you the job says. So whenever you'll get the pre-mission cutscene, the person assigning you the mission always has two sentences, and it's always the same pace because you start with your mech like over here, and it gets like lifted up, and the guy will say one sentence, then it turns and he says another sentence, and so
What are the
it,
sentences?
just the various vague things like descriptions of the mission, like, okay, your character's name is 621. You're like augmented human 621. And so your hands was like, get it done, 621. This is the big one. And it's like, okay, but then
But the big
other
one, why do
times,
they keep doing it over and over?
well, like that's for one mission.
Oh,
Or for another
okay.
mission, he'll be like, you'll get someone that says like, all right, soldier, this is your chance to prove yourself. We're gonna be watching you closely. And but like the thing about it is it creates a weird hypnotic pattern, because every time you start that mission, the rhythm of it is always the same. Like your mech gets pulled up, you get one sentence, move over, another sentence, and then the mission loads. And it's just like this kind of I've come to really like it because it feels like this ritual before going out of like,
I can
okay,
see that.
let's go. And then we go. And it's like, it's so it's so like weird and like so specific of a tone, but I'm really, really digging it. It feels like this, the whole game feels like this real, and here's the cutscene.
Yeah.
We shouldn't miss this chance. I'll support you. And like that's it. And it just creates this, like I said, this hypnotic rhythm
Mhm.
to the game, at least in the menus. And then you get into the game and everything's really fast paced. And then you come back and it's kind of like this slow hypnotic rhythm to everything. And yeah, it's a super specific niche tone. It's like super big sci-fi idea mixed with like hardcore military sci-fi that at least I haven't seen a lot of. I don't read a lot of military sci-fi, so I don't know how much like the ideas that they play around with here are common, but it's at least new to me, which is
Mhm.
interesting. Like so much of the sci-fi I consume is either the grounded realistic stuff like Interstellar, or the, fantasy of Star Wars, right?
Mhm.
Or the sci-fi of Marvel, which may as well be fantasy.
Mhm.
It's not this kind of, let's look 10,000 years in the future at these dueling corporations planet hopping and competing against each other for resources, and a mercenary group whose entire job is to just follow these corporations from planet to planet, acting as their army. And it's like it's cool. It's a type of crazy sci-fi that I've not consumed much of before, but I'm really enjoying it.
Nice. Yeah,
Mhm.
I mean, the more I watch it, the more I'm finding myself oddly compelled to play it. It just
I could
I would never have picked it for myself, but the more that I see the gameplay and the more you talk about it, the more I realize, wow, that actually sounds kinda cool.
I could totally share play the game with you.
Mm. Yeah, but I'll be playing something else.
But will you?
tonight. Well, we'll get into that. Let me know
Yeah,
when you
yeah.
want to get into what we're not talking about.
Okay. I was trying to think if there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, I will say this game. Oh my god, you've seen mech anime, right? How
Oh,
much mech
yeah,
anime have you watched?
a
Yeah.
lot.
You know when you watch like the big climactic fight and they're like choo 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 jumping around, blasting everyone. This game captures that feeling.
Mhm.
There are so many times after a big fight that I come out of it going like, holy shit, I'm an anime character. Like I just played the last scene, the last act of a Gundam anime.
Right.
And I was like, oh damn. That was kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So kudos to the game for like actually uh
Finding that exact feel.
yes, yeah, that exact feel when you watch it and like being able to translate that into the game is like, oh,
Mhm.
cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Anything else?
Yes, the other game I played uh is also an excellent game
Mhm.
and just may be the most like trippy ass puzzle game since Portal. So it's called Viewfinder. And the
Okay.
whole shtick to it is that you can turn pictures into reality. So, like in the video right now, a guy took a picture of some stairs, and oh, look, there's a platform that he can't get on top of. Well, he's going to hold this photograph of stairs up to the world, hit X, and all of a sudden, those stairs are going to
Oh,
become like a
neat.
3D object in the world that you can interact with. And you can do this for like everything. And sometimes you use this to get around obstacles because when you paste a picture onto it, it deletes whatever's behind it. So
Mhm.
if there's a gate and you paste something onto it, you'll delete that gate and you can go around it.
Mhm.
Or if you take a picture of like a battery and then you hold the picture up and you turn it upside down, when you paste that into the world, the battery will fall down because you pasted it upside down. There was a cool moment where I was in the place that was raining. I took a picture and then I turned it horizontally and pasted it onto the world. And there was a brief moment when all the rain that was photographed went sideways until it, you know, hit the ground. And it was like, oh, that's cool.
That is
And
neat.
and so like in this part, he's the player has a picture of like he's trying to get across a big gap and he took a picture of a wall and is now trying to figure out how do I paste this onto the world to create a bridge.
Wow. Okay, this would mess me up.
Oh, it's so trippy.
This would mess up with my head bad.
It
But
it
it sounds it's really neat.
oh, it's so cool. And like to its credit, it does a very good job of like slowly introducing you to the concepts and like slowly it starts off pretty easy and then it kind of gets into the more wild like oh man. And so like what this guy did is he has a battery, he needs two batteries, so the camera is in a fixed position, so he created a platform, put the battery on that platform, then took a picture of that platform with the battery. He's going to paste that into the world and that will create a second battery.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is it's one of those puzzle games that when you find the solution, you're like, "I am brilliant. I am awesome." And then you get to something and you're stuck and you're like, "I just don't get what I'm supposed to do." And then you suddenly realize, you know, I've been looking at this wrong because I've been looking at this wrong because I thought uh I didn't realize that like I could turn things upside down. I've just been like, "How do I get past this wall?" And then I realized why I don't have to get past the wall. I could just get rid of the wall. Yeah,
Got
it's
it.
the story itself is also really interesting. The whole premise of the game is that this world you're in is a virtual world where some people before you, basically kind of like the Matrix, They came into this digital world to try to find a solution to climate change. And they must have discovered something, but something happened and they're all gone. And so now Uplay has this I don't know, this person who's going through all of their old virtual worlds that they created to try to figure out, hey, what is the solution that they came up with?
Mhm.
What did these people in the Matrix discover? And that's kind of your whole reason for being here.
Right.
Oh, this is I didn't solve it this way, but that's interesting. Take a picture of a camera and
And
then
then you
go
could reposition
around
the camera.
to paste the camera and reposition it. Oh, see, this is the cool thing about the game is I solved it in a completely different way, but I still solved it. It just like it gives you a problem, gives you these tools, and then it's like figure it out.
Yep.
And I'm sure each solution probably has,
Oh,
countless each problem probably has countless solutions. And so it's always cool to be like, "Oh, what did you do? What did you do?"
right.
Yeah,
So, yeah,
Viewfinder.
this is
Very,
on
very
which
cool.
console?
I think it's for everything. It's on Xbox, PlayStation, PC. I'm playing it on PlayStation.
Okay.
Yeah, super cool, super trippy. It's the kind of thing that, you know, when you see it, the first time you do it, you're like,
Mhm.
"Oh, this is wild." And then the more you do it, it's like, I don't even I can't even begin to think about how hard that is to program.
Right. Yeah. That's neat. I like that. Anything else?
That's all. But I have been watching a lot of Starfield streams, and I would love to ask you about your experience with it. How
So
is Starfield?
I got Starfield Thursday. It was waiting for me and I got there because I got the Constellation pack and I did open it and it is very cool. It is
Yeah,
very cool.
you basically sent me like an unboxing video,
I did. I
and
basically
it
said,
was
yeah,
cool.
yeah. It is really neat. The watch I haven't opened. I mean, I haven't turned on the watch or anything because right now the watches and the watch in the box are selling for what I paid for the whole thing. So I could. I'm not quite sure if I want to sell it. There's a part of me that kind of doesn't because I really like watches and I really really like that watch and I really like that box. The unfortunately, the wrist, the watch band, which I think is absolutely ludicrous. The watch band is so cheap. I
Oh,
really
really?
wish, yeah, it's rubber,
Ah,
it's silicone. I really wish that they'd actually put a real watch band, which wouldn't have cost that much more, but they didn't.
mm.
Um, but I loaded it up. I redeemed the code. By the way, if you want to, I'll be right back. I'm going to show you the box, and I'm going to show you. I mean, actually, whoever's opened like done unboxing videos probably already like a video they've already done it, but let me show you something that was a little dangerous. I will be right back.
Yeah, let's see. I'm gonna look at some unboxing videos myself. Let's see. Oh, he doesn't. Oh. Let me present this. So that is the key. So if you
Yeah. Yeah. That was the dangerous part. So you get the metal box that the game comes in, right? And it's a digital game. It's there's no game inside. But what is inside is that's here, which made me think that this is where the
the code.
code, right? So, and then there's this other thing that's in the side right here, right? And it's actually a very heavy, heavy metal thing that says on it, and I want to make sure that it's here. This very heavy metal thing, right? That is, and it says on it, non-volatile graphite currency. So I thought this was like a replica of the currency or a credit chit within the game, and it's
Yeah,
really
and
neat.
I think it is. You're right.
Yeah, it's really, I mean, you can see it's thick, it's really cool, it's heavy metal. So I was debating on whether I wanted to live stream the unboxing. And it was like, I really don't really want to do it. It's like, I'm just so I just took pictures of it for Nick and sent it to Nick and I sent it to Chaos. And I'm taking the pictures of the box, I'm taking the pictures of the outside here, and then I'm taking a picture of this thing and I'm showing him this. And you saw the pictures that I sent to him in the video, and I'm showing it. And then I'm like, all right, well, let's get the code in. And then you open it up and they're like, hey, guess what? The code is on the chit. There's the code. That's where you're going to locate the code right here.
Yeah.
Right
I'm
there is
I
you
mean,
can't let's see if we can
I
see the
think
two.
you can show everyone your code. Like it's not going to matter. Unless you
That's
haven't
true.
used it yet.
No, I have used it.
Okay, yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
So that's the code right here across the top
Also,
here.
the camera isn't good enough to like
Yeah.
get all the
Unfortunately,
detail.
it's not doing it. It doesn't want to get up there. But yeah, up here is the code for this chit. So I realized that it's like, oh shit, code, code, because I trust you, but you know, I but I just realized that I
I mean,
had
yeah,
shown you what the code
I would
was. So
steal your game.
I'm sure more than one streamer has done that where they have shown this and like,
Yeah.
oh, this is cool. What's this? And then they open it up and it's like, oh yeah, your game activation code is on your chit. It's like, but that is kind of cool that this isn't like individually mine.
Mm-hmm.
And it is kind of a neat thing to have. It's actually it's well made. The watch itself feels very well made. The box is super cool, super cool. I wouldn't call that incredibly well made, but it is very cool. But I have not. Yeah, let's see if I can show that. Yeah, see, there you go. You can see. Oh, this isn't me. This is somebody else.
This is me. Yeah.
This isn't mine. But you can
Oh,
see on
no.
there. He's not
Yeah.
flipping it over. Is he gonna flip it over? Probably
I don't
not.
think so. In the code, he says credit stick with laser etched game code, so he knows.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's like in show. It's super heavy. It's super cool. But yeah, the streams. It occurred to me that probably there were more than one streamer who didn't know better and doing an unboxing video and did not know that that code is the game code. Now, as for me and why I haven't played it is it's been a weekend. It's got a lot of things on my plate, and every time that I've sat down to play it, I've just been so freaking exhausted. It's like, I have to be up. It's a little bit late, and I know what's going to happen is I'm going to get into this, and it's going to be 4 a.m. and it's going to screw my whole weekend. So because I have to be up early in the morning, I'll do it tomorrow.
It does suck for you personally that like this huge 100-hour game comes out the month that you like every weekend is filled with prepping for a trip that you'll be gone for a whole other month.
Exactly. Oh, it gets better. I wake up that morning to the sound of my UPS going beep, 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 beep. And I'm like, what the fuck? Everything's fine. There's no power outage. My UPS is broken.
What?
Universal power supply.
Oh.
My big like the box that everything is all my game, my television, my computer, the console, everything is all plugged into is malfunctioning. So
that's kind of important.
That's kind of important, and it would be absolutely impossible for me to rewire everything. Fortunately, dare I say fortunately, I had a spare one from Kevin's room that was his.
Okay.
And so there was a spare one, so I pulled out his power supply and I'm like, "Sorry you're dead, Kevin, but Thanks for the spare UPS right when I needed it.
The
day that I needed it.
Now is the time to go buy more so that you have them when this one inevitably
No,
goes.
UPSs don't. I mean, my UPS is probably 20 years old. It was one of the very first ones on the market. It's a very, very old. It's old enough that I have had to change the batteries in it twice. And now it's actually not saying that the batteries are dead. It says that the UPS is dead. So it's a time. And Kevin's was so much better anyway. He had a super good one. So I'm fine with it. It'll probably last. I mean, I may be alive when it breaks down. I may not.
That's the goal. That's the goal.
It may very well be the last
supply.
UPS I ever own. So yeah, then last night it was like, well, I could load it now and I could play a little bit, but I'd have to hurry it in order to talk about it on the show. Or I could just stream it the Sunday night and just stream the whole thing from the beginning. So it's essentially an unboxing of the game from the minute that I open it up, and I will go through it at the beginning. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. Is tonight it will be about 7:30, 7:45 Pacific time. I will be streaming tonight Starfield. And I'm going to be streaming it from the minute that I press start and start up a brand new game for the very first time. So if you are interested in seeing what it's like, not when you're in the game, but from the very beginning, that's when I'll do it. So let's say 7:45 just to be safe, because I have to pick somebody up at the train station at 7:30. So by 6:30. By 7:45, I should be in, I should be fed, I will be, like settled in, and I will fire it up. So be here on our Twitch channel, and I will be streaming Starfield. So we will find out together if it's any good. I have assiduously stayed away from not only all spoilers, but all reviews. I haven't had to, look at some headlines because I was doing our news, collecting news for the show today. So I am aware that there's a lot of talk about it and a lot of like, should we? Like, there's some, quibbling. I just don't know what it's about. And I don't know the imperfections that they're saying is there, or even if I agree with them.
I have read enough that I could summarize a lot of that, and even some of the like real confusing, possibly conspiratorial pre-release review stuff.
I don't want to know anything about it until I get into it. Then I'll be interested. But I want to come into this as vanilla as possible, as untainted by anybody else's opinion as possible.
Okay.
Because for the reason why I didn't really want to know that Baldur's Gate was all that great. Although I probably wouldn't have wanted to play Baldur's Gate if I didn't know the reviews. But I don't want anyone telling me what I should think. I don't want to be influenced.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I will hold off on all of my questions and curiosities until next week. Although by next
you could watch tonight and ask me.
By next week, what is it? Comes out the 5th or 6th?
I think it comes out the 5th.
Either way, by next week I'll have played it.
Yeah. True.
Because I guess I will probably start with Starfield before Baldur's Gate, because it's kind of the hot new thing, and that would allow us to kind of talk about it together and kind of commiserate over it, which I think would be fun. And then I'll save Baldur's Gate for later. But that also gives me 4 days to beat Armored Core 6, which, I'm on a deadline now.
I am doing that. So 7:45 p.m. Pacific time is 12:45 p.m. in Canberra, Australia, which I'm assuming where you are. So, in that same time zone. Canberra, ACT. I guess that would be Australian Central Time. So yeah, 12:45, just afternoon. So, there you go. So yeah, that's why we're not talking about Starfield, is I haven't played it, and I held off playing it for you because that's how much I love you. All right, so should we hit the news?
Yeah.
All
Hit
right.
the news and we can talk about Starfield.
All right, let's hit the news. First item is
Oh, I actually don't know if I have a banner for it, but there was a whole lot of drama over the Starfield pre-release codes. Basically, and I'm gonna summarize a lot of this based on what I heard on the Remap podcast, because they did have a really good summary, and I wasn't following any of this when it happened at the time.
Mhm.
But before it came out, Bethesda sent out codes to a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people. Like it. Look, it's a big game. Almost everyone who wanted a code got a code, except Eurogamer didn't. And eventually they asked for code.
Really?
Yes. And oh, your stream is frozen.
My stream is frozen?
Yeah, the video. Oh, the video was. Now
Oh,
it unfroze. I could hear your voice.
okay. All right.
Eurogamer didn't. Digital Foundry, which is a part of Eurogamer, got a code. And basically it was like the email was, here's a code. No one at Eurogamer can use this. This is only for Digital Foundry. And so after a couple of days, Eurogamer posted an article that basically said, look, I know a lot of people want to know what we think about Starfield, but we won't have a review on release. We won't have anything on release because we were not given a code for it. We don't know why. We went back and forth. It got escalated to seniority multiple times, and we still don't have a code.
What did they do?
Within an hour of them posting that, a couple other outlets were like, hey, we didn't get a code either. Specifically, what was it? There's Edge magazine, and there was
These are
another,
big outlets. These are really big outlets. They're not little piddly ones.
and The Guardian.
The Guardian newspaper?
Yeah. And so there's a common denominator between these three, and these were the biggest publications. The common denominator between them that's like really weird. They're all UK.
Right.
They're
Are
all
they
UK
Rupert
based.
Murdoch owned?
No, it's just for some reason a whole lot of UK outlets didn't get code until Eurogamer posted this article, and then like within a day they got a code for Starfield. And so
That's odd.
look, everyone knows Bethesda is a notoriously petty and vengeful company. Axios didn't get a code because Stephen Totillo works for Axios, and he like broke some story that Bethesda didn't like years ago.
Yeah, they hold grudges.
Years ago, he was working at Kotaku, and Kotaku got blackballed by Bethesda because of that. Kotaku is still blackballed by Bethesda, even though Totillo is no longer there.
Yeah,
So like
they are petty and they
hold,
hold grudges.
but the thing is, like we know why they did that. Totillo like broke a story about like I think he probably announced Fallout 4 or something before Bethesda did, and they got pissed about that.
Mhm.
Look, people like, what the hell did Edge do? What did the
Right.
UK
Right.
do to Bethesda? And then they got the code anyways. And so on Remap at least, they were like, we don't know. It's probably not Bethesda being petty because like the scope is a little too big for that.
Right.
But then they were speculating, get the tinfoil hat back. Maybe
I can't find my tinfoil hat. It's a tinfoil ball now. Yes?
maybe the PR firm that was contracted to work the UK for Bethesda has some axe to grind and was like, we're not going to give any of you codes. But
maybe? Or could it
some
just be somebody fucked up and forgot to send the codes?
it totally could have been someone fucked up and forgot to set the codes.
Yeah.
But it was a weird amount of drama over something that was then resolved instantly. And coupled with Bethesda's past, it invites speculation
Oh,
and
yeah,
and
totally.
stories. And it's just like, wow, Bethesda just hates the UK.
Yeah.
Who knew? and and then
Well, here's the a tinfoil, puffball.
yeah.
Is that
Oh yeah,
is that it?
turn the boxes on it.
Yeah, tried to stop the Blizzard merger. Exactly what I was thinking. What did they report on the Blizzard merger? Because remember, we're
Oh,
not
I don't
talking
know.
about Bethesda. We're talking about Xbox. We call it Bethesda, but it's Microsoft.
Is now Microsoft being really petty? It's like the CMA is getting in the way of our merger, so we're not going to give our codes to any UK outlet.
You know, it, the Microsoft bought the company. They might have also bought the petty.
Yeah,
That's
it's an
it.
it's a
Actually,
weird story.
it's also a really interesting feature, not a bug, of Bethesda, is that Microsoft could never be that petty, but they could be petty through Bethesda, and everybody go, well, that's Bethesda. They're petty.
Yeah, that's just Todd Howard.
Right. That's just Todd Howard. It's like it becomes your puppet. Oh, I didn't say it. The puppet did. Where will Bethesda get their RPG accents? Yeah. No kidding. No kidding. If Bethesda hates the UK so much, why do they keep stealing their language?
Mm-hmm.
So it is a very interesting tin hat conspiracy possibility. Absolutely.
So yes. Other than that, I think that's all the. No, I had a couple other Starfield related
Okay,
newses.
let's hit them all together.
Let's have them
Because
all
oh my
together.
god, oh my god,
What was it?
have you gone to any of the news websites? It is just Starfield. I mean,
Oh
it
yeah.
has been the last 3 days. There's been nothing reported except Starfield.
Mm-hmm. So ahead of it, in case you were like, hey,
Game Pass is that spelled wrong?
trial. Yeah,
Oh,
that's trail. I
game,
meant
and it's
trial.
a Game Pass trail. Okay, or
Oh
trial.
yeah.
Okay, let me fix it for you.
So
I got
so previously, Microsoft had a deal where you could try out Game Pass for 14 days for $1.
you.
By
Until
pure coincidence,
oh
I'm
yeah.
sure they killed that trial ahead of Starfield.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. I don't blame him a bit. This Starfield is a Game Pass seller.
Mm-hmm.
So why would they give the cow away for free? Why would they give
It's
the milk away for free
like
instead of making people buy the cow?
I get it, but it's just I feel like coming on the heels of the whole Activision acquisition and people talking about Game Pass and how it factors into Microsoft's whole business plan, and then to be like, hey, guess what? We like to hype up how good of a deal Game Pass is, but you know what? Fuck you, pay for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I think before a month ago, they also killed the family sharing plan.
Yeah, I can
So
see that too.
they're like, hey, people keep saying how good of a deal Game Pass is. Well, guess what? We're going to raise the price. We're going to get rid of that trial. We're going to kill family planning, and you're still going to love it.
Well, and I'll throw this in that has nothing to do with Starfield, but it is sort of related to that. Sony did announce that they're hiking the prices of PS Plus as well.
Mm-hmm. And because in case you were like, oh man, Microsoft, Xbox, they just keep, making Game Pass worse. Sony's like, hey, were you upset by that what was it? I think it was like a $3 to $4 price hike for Game Pass. Did you think that was unfair? Hey, we're gonna raise it by 20.
Yep. PlayStation Plus Essential 12-month, which used to be $59.99, is now going to be $79.99. We're talking about US. Or going from 39.99 British pounds to 59.99 British pounds. So yeah, that. PlayStation Plus Extra is going from 130, went from $100?
I think it might have been 100 because I think the highest was 120
Yeah,
previously.
it's going PlayStation Extra for being $100 a month is now going up to 134.99, 135. So they raised that $35. And PlayStation Plus Premium was 120. It's now gone up to 160. So they've raised the Essential $20, the Plus Extra, the Essential 20. They've raised Extra 30, and they've raised Premium $40 a year. So yeah.
Ah, when the Game Pass price hikes happened, I canceled my Game Pass Ultimate subscription and subscribed to the lower tier, which, to my unpleasant surprise, didn't include multiplayer games. There is no lower pass for PS Plus that I can subscribe to.
Nope. Yep. So to let you know, in case you want to anticipate and get the most out of the current prices, new prices are not going to take effect until the renewal date, your next coming renewal date, or November 6th, whichever comes later. Any changes to your current plan on or after September 6th, such as upgrading, will follow the new prices. So, if you are interested in making the most of this, I would recommend going out and getting a 12-month subscription right now, because as of today is the 3rd, and it's the 4th in Australia. But as of the 6th in the United States, which would be the 5th in 7th, whatever it is, Australia, those prices are going to go up. So you got a little wiggle room to go get yourself out there to get yourself a 12 months so that you
wait,
can
when
save
did this
yourself some money.
when did it take into effect? I thought it was November.
It goes into effect November 6th, but you have until September 6th to make changes to your account before the new pricing will be applied. So if you buy a 12-month, like if you make a change, like say that you want to go to a 12-month pass, buy a 12-month pass on the 7th, then you will pay up until September 6th the old price, and then on November 6th, that's when you're going to start paying the new price. However, if you buy it on the 5th, then you will have the old pricing all the way through until you need to rebuy. You need to repurchase. So I think the maximum you can have is 3 years. So you could theoretically say buy 3 years of your PlayStation Plus now and keep the old pricing for 3 years, I believe. Don't quote me on this, but I believe that's the case. The way that it's worded makes it seem that way. New prices will not take effect until the renewal date of your renewal date or after November 6th. For any changes to your current plan on or after September 6th, such as upgrading, will follow the new prices. So you have September 5th to make any changes to your plan.
Shit. Okay, then I might have to buy a couple years.
I have a feeling that that's the way it works.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So
I'm gonna have to do that.
Yeah, double check that before you go and commit yourself to buying a couple of years of PlayStation.
Yeah.
But
To possibly make this a little easier to go down, there's a Jeff Grubb of Giant Bomb he's a pretty reliable source of insider information, and he says that Sony is planning a state of play for September, which for them will basically be a means of like, hey, showing off what's coming up
Right.
to hopefully justify this
Right.
price hike.
Justification.
But we'll see if that even happens and if it's enough.
If they hire me a housekeeper, that justifies it. But short of that, I don't think that's going to happen for me, at least. I'm going to be hard to be convinced that it is worth an extra $40 a year.
Yeah.
Oh, that adds up.
Oh, it absolutely adds up.
All right. So, your next Starfield, I guess, related thing.
That was this one's just kind of a fun story. Someone on Reddit had a story that hey, they've been excited for Starfield for a really long time. So naturally, the day came out, they started playing it, and they was up late playing it, like deep into the night until like 2:30 a.m. when suddenly they hear an explosion. And they go out of their apartment and they look down and they see a fire like at the bottom of the stairs. And the guy who was playing, like obviously woke up his wife, got the cat, and were able to get out with minor burns. And he basically credits on the Reddit that if I wasn't up late playing Starfield, I would have been in bed asleep. The explosion, I heard it because I was awake. It wasn't loud enough to wake up his wife. So if he was asleep, he probably wouldn't have heard it. They would have stayed asleep, probably died of smoke inhalation. So in a roundabout way,
Starfield saved his life.
Starfield saved his life.
Probably did.
Yeah, like given
not even a roundabout way, directly. If Starfield had not come out on that day, if he was not playing Starfield, if he had not planned to stay up late to play Starfield because he got it, making up for me who got it and didn't play it, then he would have been asleep. He probably would have. There's a very high likelihood he would have died. So yeah, Starfield, not even like roundabout. He did save his life.
Yeah. And I saw in the comments other people were joking like full permission to stay up late playing games for the rest of your life, right?
Yeah.
No one
wife's never going to complain about that ever again. Free pass.
So yeah, that's just a fun happy story.
A happy ending to that. That's for sure. I mean, other than, their house being fucked up.
Other than the fire.
Other than the fact that there was a fire in their house or a fire in their apartment building. All right. So let's see. My first item is, and it's a sort of tangentially related to Starfield, but not directly, but tangentially. Remember Elder Scrolls 6? We've heard about for the last 5 years, and everybody that it was essentially put on the back burner because of Starfield. Well, it is now officially been said by them, by people that working on it, that Elder Scrolls 6 is now officially out of pre-production and it has moved into the early development phase. Now, this is according to Pete Hines. So that's you don't get any more official than that. So he was doing an interview with a Spanish site called Vandal. And he had said that the game to them that the game is now officially in early development, but it's going to be a while before they actually discuss it for a couple of reasons. One, they're in early development. Two, they don't want to stop talking about Starfield. They just want to stop working on it, because now it's out.
Yeah. That makes sense, right? Like I'm sure most of that studio was working on Starfield. Now that the game is out, like
everybody's transitioning to early development for
everyone's moving to Elder Scrolls 6. There's still probably people working on Starfield with like bugs and updates. I'm sure there's going to be some sort of DLC, but like that's
crunch is over. And now they're starting to crunch on to crunch.
we finished the crunch on Starfield. Oh, thank God. Okay, now it's time to crunch on Elder Scrolls.
8 a.m. tomorrow morning, crunching on Elder Scrolls 6.
That whip never stops.
Yeah. So it's been 5 years Yeah, it's been 5 years, almost exactly 5 years since Elder Scrolls 6 was announced in October of 2018. And back then they were saying it is a long way off. It's going to be it probably wouldn't even it probably wouldn't even be out until there's a new console. Well, obviously the new console is out, PS5 and Xbox Series X and S. They were on the horizon at the time in 2018. So, yeah, that has happened. And they also said it wouldn't start until Starfield was out the door. That has happened. The only thing we do know about it at this point is that it's being designed to be played. It's been designed, like they've been working on it in the pre-production for a decade or more. So they've had a lot of time to plan the map.
I guarantee you this
They
game's
cannot be they no more of this like, well, we didn't really know what it was going to be. You've had a decade to figure out what it's going to be.
I still think this game now, it's not coming out until the next console cycle. What's funny,
I don't know.
this was our predictions in like 2022. Nick says Elder Scrolls 6 in 2025, Edie 2024 fiscal, Andrew 2023. How naive we were back then.
Yeah. Yeah. We were.
The fact that we're like, even my, like, I'm going to guess it's way far out.
Are
Not
you
even close.
now, do you want to change your, I mean, obviously, I think it's now time to recalculate our predictions. What are our predictions right now?
Let's see. I think, how long was Starfield in production? Starfield has over 7 years of development time compared to the 4 to 5 years it takes for past Bethesda titles. The game started production after Fallout 4. I don't think it will take 7 years because I think Starfield is a more ambitious game. I think,
and also Starfield they were kind of making up a new IP. They know what a Elder Scroll game needs to be.
Yeah, and I'm sure
they've already got a setting. They know the world. They kind of know the game.
Chunda says, "I can't believe you knew what put that piece of paper." I have this paper in my important documents box next to my passport.
Wow! I'm impressed. I feel honored.
Because I knew we would be referencing it in the future.
Of course, AC Wraith knows exactly where to find it, date and time.
That's impressive.
Yeah. No, that's AC Wraith. AC Wraith is always impressive that way.
So yeah, I don't think it'll be 7 years, but I also think it's going to be a long time. So let's see. It's 2023 now. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2028. My God, it's so weird to be thinking about 2028.
Going close to 2030.
Yeah.
In 2028, I will be 62 years old.
I think I will officially be over the hill by then.
I will be officially a year away from like when I can start taking retirement. I can start pulling things out of my 401k.
You know what? Just to be safe, I'm going to say 2029.
I will be officially a senior citizen then.
I'm going to give them 6 years.
Did you say 2029?
Let's
say 2028.
Okay.
I'm not even going to cheese it with fiscal. I'm going to go 2028.
Andrew, where are you? We need
chaos.
I mean, we can ask AC Wraith, Chunda, what are your suggestions?
Yeah. You want in on this? You want to be
I will keep the sticky note.
You could be on the official sticky note, but that means that you have to keep listening the next 6-7 years. Let me send it to Chaos. Let's see. I'm texting Chaos. Chaos, comma. What is your prediction for the release date of Elder Scrolls 6? Question mark. We clearly have blown our previous predictions, so we are recalculating. Period.
I've got the new one. There's plenty of room for other people's predictions.
Right. Anybody else want in on this? It's there's no prizes. To my knowledge, there's gonna be no prizes. Actually, here's my prize. Whoever gets it right, I will buy you a copy of Elder Scrolls 6.
Okay.
I have no problem doing that. So anybody in on this? There we go. We already got it down. We are talking about Starfields. Nick's 2029, Edie 2028. Anybody else? And I will. If I'm
I have a note.
If I'm still alive, which
Edie buys winner a copy.
Edie buys winner a copy, and you know what? I will put it into my estate. That with like everybody's contact information, so that if I die before 2028, I will make sure that my brother, whoever is head of my estate, will buy you a copy of that game. That is hopefully it will be my gift to you. And if not, it will be my, what was it? What is it called? When somebody dies.
Postmortem?
Postmortem. It'll be my postmortem gift to you.
And, just for consistency's sake, it's there together.
Good.
So that we don't lose the history.
The Elder Scrolls scroll. All right, so
AC Wraith. Edie says Elder Scrolls 6 before Winds of Winter.
I still am holding that one.
Oh, Chunderbox says 2026.
All right,
you're ambitiously early.
Wow, you're ambitious. You can have the same number as me. I can't buy I'm obviously going to buy myself a copy. So if you want to take my year, that's fine. But you should probably be more specific than just the general year.
No,
you can go fiscal.
Fine.
You could go fiscal 2026, and that would cross over from 2026 into 2027, the first quarter set 2027.
Nope, I would put 2026. The bet is in. No changing.
Right. But if you go fiscal 2027, that's different than 2027.
Winds of Winter or Elder Scrolls 6. That's tough. Like,
okay,
6 years for Winds of Winter. That's 6 years on top of like the 15 that it's already been.
Winds of Winter's never coming out. That's my prediction.
See, I
not in my lifetime.
I know.
I don't know how old is I
think he's like 70 something.
See, that's the thing. Is it his estate? His estate will publish it. His estate will absolutely publish it. He won't, but his estate will.
I'm 95% sure. Yeah, he's 74 years old.
Yeah, no. It'll be out. It'll be out. I predict it'll be out now.
No, see, I'm 95% sure that he will finish it and it will be published within his lifetime. He will write it. The last one, A Dream of Spring, like no.
No, that's never coming out.
One that's never coming out. But I do think Winds of Winter is going to be released.
Not in his lifetime. So that's a separate prediction.
No, see,
you need to make another post-it note. I say Winds of Winter will not come out in his lifetime. It will be released by his estate the way that Prince's vault was opened by his estate. And it's not even entirely opened, but that's because Prince had so much in it. I don't think he's got much, that much in it. It's not J.R.R. Tolkien. What's his name?
Martin? George R.R. Martin?
George R.R. Martin. That's it. It's killing me. Yes. I don't think George is going to finish it, do it in his lifetime. I think that that's going to be his. I think that, what was it, Taste of Spring
A Dream of
A
Spring?
Dream of Spring. I think A Dream of Spring will be released, but it will be based on his notes because I don't think he's had a
Yeah.
single letter written on that one. So,
It's
but
like
he's got a plan. He's obviously got some document that's got a plan or got an idea of where things will go.
yeah, he's got an
That
outline.
will be written by somebody else.
They did that with some fantasy series, right? I think it was Wheel of Time.
Wheel of
That
Time
like
did that.
some other guy
Brandon
finished it.
Sanderson finished it.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. He is 74 currently. I hope I outlive him. That would be terrible.
I mean, we all unfortunately outlived the TV show.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got to see how that ended.
Don't even start. But but yeah, anybody else want in on either one of those bets? I'm in. And
this
the
this really
winner of the Song of Ice and Fire sweepstakes, let's just say, the pool, let's just call it. I will buy you a copy of the book. In fact, I will buy you one of the like full compendium, like full like sets of all the books up to that point, including the Winds of Winter.
You know, just to keep this on brand, I'm reorganizing these so that it really is a scroll.
Don't forget to roll it up.
Do you roll a scroll like that way so the back is out front, or that way so the front is out?
Oh, however you
I think you
like to
want it
roll your
inside.
scrolls. I mean, every man rolls his scrolls differently. Some roll it to the right, some roll it to the left. You know, it's how you feel comfortable with your scroll.
The GameHounds gambling scroll. Now I need like a piece of tape or something to...
No, don't tape it because then you can't open it. You're gonna have to actually get a little small cord, a little piece of something, and tie a cord around it.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, let's keep the arts and crafts to a minimum, though. Chatterbox says, I picked 2026 as the next console release date. I'll probably be around 6 to 7 years. Yeah, okay. So my next item is... Actually, that was my item. You go next.
Okay. What do I have next? This is interesting. For the streaming wars, Amazon Luna is now available on LG TVs.
Man, Luna is just like the it's the Firefox of... I don't want to give it credit but it really is. It's like the Internet Explorer of consoles. It's like
Services.
streaming services. Yeah, it's always in third place. It's kind of trying to figure its shit out, but it's probably not going to make it.
No,
but
you
it's
know
trying.
what?
It gets an E for effort.
And you know what? Kudos to them for just like kind of staying low, just getting the work done,
doing the research, getting their software sorted out,
getting the software sorted out, getting like the deal sorted out.
Yeah.
And this is it's not like in new TVs going forward. It's now an app on the LG store that's compatible with LG smart TVs from 2021 to 2022 and will be on the home screen of 2023 smart TVs.
Right.
So like if you bought an LG TV within the past couple of years, like it's compatible with Luna.
Right. Yeah, Stadia, I don't know, how's the best way to describe it?
Dead.
Yeah, I mean, but Stadia came out and said that they had all this stuff and then just, went off on its own direction, not having the foundation to keep it going, and with promises that it couldn't deliver. And then now Luna is just kind of like Stadia. Bye.
I never even heard about Luna, which is not
Really?
surprising.
How did you?
AC Ray says our channel is flagged for gambling.
Did yeah. Thank you for
I
gambling.
I think we have mentioned Luna before,
We
but
we actually I remember playing the Luna ad. Was the Luna ad on was it a Super Bowl ad?
I don't think they've had any advertisement.
Yeah, they have. With the Luna with the green butterfly. I am pulling this shit up.
I don't know
Hold on a
this.
second.
I know we've mentioned it in the news before. A couple years ago, like during the pandemic when it first came out, I tried a free trial of it, and it kind of worked as you expected. I had good enough internet at the time, and trying to play Metro didn't work very well because it's a bit of a fast-paced shooter. But playing like a couple point-and-click adventures worked really well. The only issue is that it like ate through my data cap,
Mhm.
um, to a degree that oh, I don't know how viable this is for someone that plays games a lot like me. I would have to up my internet to like get unlimited data.
You don't remember this? I recall there's a butterfly involved, and I don't think that was Lunesta either. I think it was Luna.
No, was this like during a Super Bowl or something?
I think it was a Super Bowl ad. Maybe I'm wrong. There wasn't a butterfly. Yeah, I do. No, I don't know if I remember this one. Now,
I've definitely never seen this before.
I definitely have.
It's kind of a neat idea, running by and all the screens turn into games.
Going out to what was it?
Times
Times
Square.
Square.
You know what? That would legit be cool to like play a game on a Times Square billboard.
Yeah, it would. Yep. So
Oh,
there's your
AC said the Konami code on Stadia controllers worked, but they were plugged in the second slot and somehow affected Luna instead. What
Konami
did the
code on
Konami
Steam.
code do?
Yeah, I don't remember that either.
I guess if you enter the sequence on the Stadia website, you get a model of the Stadia controller that you can just kind of like look around.
Oh, interesting.
Hmm. Looks like lying in advertising to me. It's not lying. It's surreal. It's abstract. It gets to the metaphoric experience of a Luna, not the literal experience. But yes, I'm also with you. It's totally bullshit. um. Anyways, I can do the next story.
Okay, hit
Oh
it.
no, is it yours?
No, that's right. It is mine because you just did.
Yeah, I just did LG. No, Luna.
Yeah. So let's see. My next item. Oh, let's get completely away finally from all of this other like Starfield bullshit and let's talk about some other stuff that is not Bethesda, not Starfield. First off, Volition.
Yes.
Volition is dead. This came through last week. The company that has been around for 30 years that brought you Red Faction and Saints Row, they are shutting down for good. This was announced last week on the company's LinkedIn account, right after all the news for Starfield went live. So they kind of slid it in as soon as Starfield went live. It went dead. So in the post on LinkedIn, they said that the reason for their closing was because of the whole Embracer Group restructuring program. That was
Yeah.
because of the $2 billion pullout by the I don't want to say I don't want to call even it a $2 billion pullout. The $2 billion screw over that Saudi government did to Embracer. In their statement, they said, this past June, Embracer Group announced a restructuring program to strengthen Embracer and maintain its position as a leader in the video game industry. As part of that program, we evaluated strategic and operational goals and made the difficult decision to close Volition effective immediately. And then they did say at the end of the statement that they would be helping all the employees that will be losing their jobs to find new jobs. And they also sent a message to people who were fans of the company. They said, we thank our customers and fans around the world for all the love and support over the years. You will always be in our hearts. So Volition, they started way back in 1993. They were first called Parallax Software. And under Parallax, they made the Descent series, if you remember that one. In 1996, they changed their name to Volition, and then they created Summoner, Red Faction, and Saints Row under that name. Then they were acquired by THQ in 2000. And then they were sold to Deep Silver after THQ went into bankruptcy in 2017. And then I believe either THQ was acquired by Embracer or they were purchased.
No, I think THQ bought Deep Silver, which then bought Volition.
Right. No, I mean that Embracer. That Embracer bought THQ.
No, THQ went
Sorry,
under.
Embracer bought Deep Silver.
Yes.
Yes, and then Embracer bought Deep Silver, and that's how they came under Embracer. So yeah, last thing that they released was the reboot of Saints Row, which did not go over incredibly well.
Yeah, it sucks because Volition had a string during the 360 era when they were just really hitting it out of the park each time. Red Faction Guerrilla was really cool. Saints Row 3 especially was great. But the past several games they've made have kind of failed to hit it.
Right.
They did Agents of Mayhem for Xbox, which just massively flopped. They did the Saints Row remake earlier this year, which I heard wasn't bad, but it also people it's fine.
It's fine, but yeah, and you had to rebuy it essentially to get which kind of sucked. It makes it no point of rebuying it to go back to Saints Row when it's exactly the same Saints Row.
It was like a reimagining. It wasn't just the same game. It was like a whole new game, but it didn't set the world on fire. And so they've just kept trying to recapture that magic, and the past several times they kind of struck out.
Let's see, what of it? Let's see. 3 and 4 were already remastered. 2 had one dedicated developer and he died. Are you talking about Saints Row?
Yeah, he was talking about Saints Row. Oh, and going back to Bethesda, Chunderbox says Elder Scrolls 6 release date was projected to land in 2026 for PC and Xbox, according to a lawyer representing Microsoft during a recent FTC hearing. He's like, do I trust this lawyer's statements to be honest? Silly me with a 2026 prediction. If you know what,
it could very well be the shortest turnaround in Bethesda's history.
If that's what made you guess 2026, you're paying attention.
Yes,
I'm sure that we talked about that, and I just completely forgot about it.
Now, here's the other thing is that
But here's the thing, you know what?
How will that if Starfield is a critical and financial success, how will that change? If it's not a critical success, if it flops, if it loses money,
it's not.
It's a big if, but if it flops, will they rush Elder Scrolls 6 to market?
Maybe.
I think that how Starfield does, it will directly affect how much pressure is put on the team to complete.
Also, look, let's be honest. Every single game gets delayed. If they're projecting 26 now, that's going to get delayed into 27.
Yeah. And then you needed to go to 28. I need to go to 28. You
I
said
need to go to
29.
29. I need more delays. I need Bethesda. You know what? I'm going to go like flood Bethesda's offices just to delay the production
Set
of the
fire to
game.
the offices. Like, who just recently had the fire? Like, they delayed because they had an office fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry to derail the chat. It's okay to derail. That's fine. You can derail this.
That's
It's not
why
like this
chat
chat.
exists.
It's not like this chat is ever on the rails. Come on. Who are you talking to? So yeah,
Yeah. Unfortunate about Volition.
yeah,
And
it
yeah,
is sad.
man, Embracer. Tough times. Tough time
Yeah.
to be a company owned by Embracer. Like,
But
I'm sure if you're a company owned by Embracer, you're just like
yeah,
watching the clock tick down, waiting for the guillotine to fall.
absolutely. But I'm very impressed with Embracer that A, they're willing to make the hard decisions, and B, they're doing everything that they possibly can to keep it together. The fact that they didn't completely fold when it's happened and that they're still making adjustments to kind of recover, you got to give credit for the fight, man. They are fighting tooth and nail to stay. This is the kind of company, I mean, this is now switching off of my gaming hat and switching onto my, and I am not an investment strategist. I am not an investment expert. But these are the kinds of companies that I personally like to buy stock in because they're fighters. They're scrappy. They will stick around. They will do what's necessary. They're not just going to throw up their hands and then the executives walk away with their golden parachutes. They're fighting for survival. And that doesn't happen a lot because so many of these companies, especially publicly owned companies, their senior staff, their C-suite all has written into their contracts a a parachute. Like, they're fine. They're going to be fine for the rest of their lives. They're good. But the and if you know everybody below them, it sucks. You can go find other jobs elsewhere. Embracer's trying to recover from this, and they're not. The C-suiters have not walked away and just closed up shop and moved on to their next big project. So it makes me love Embracer that much more because they're committed to the company, to the people that really don't have to be in our corporate world. It's kind of nice to see.
Yeah.
But related to this story, everything seems to be related to each other. Weird. PlayStation Plus games for this month are out, and Saints Row 2 is one of them. So yeah, free to download starting September 5th. So that is what, Monday, and that's going to run all the way until October 2nd. I'm sorry, it's not Saints Row 2, it's Saints Row. My bad. I will fix that. It is Saints Row, not Saints Row 2. Saints Row is coming out under PlayStation Plus. You will have that for free to download for any and all PlayStation Plus subscribers. If you've got a subscription of any tier, you're good for that. Also coming out will be at the same time as Black Desert. And then also coming out is Generation Zero. So if you've not heard of Black Desert Generation Zero, Black Desert is an MMO. It's actually getting quite a lot of little, like, very quiet buzz. It's a Korean MMO, and has what they call action-focused combat and a variety of relaxing elements like horse breeding.
I remember seeing a lot of talk about that years ago because it has a like psychotically in-depth character creator.
Mhm.
And so
Oh, really?
I've always been curious to try it out. But Vice says that it's monetized to hell and back,
Oh, really?
which I guess is to be expected for a free to play MMO.
Mhm.
But I'm still vaguely curious, like
Well, is it free to
how it is.
play or is it just free? I
Oh
think it's
no,
not
you're
free to
right.
play.
I
It's
don't think it is free to play.
No, it's
Yeah.
not.
But I think it's on Game Pass, which is why I was always tempted by it. But now I could download it on PlayStation.
Yeah.
Everyone in the video is just like looking at their hands. Oh my god!
I have hands.
Generic video game animation.
There we go. The action-packed combat. It does look pretty.
Yeah, they say one of the Gamescom games we looked at is by the same dev. It looks like it's that Crimson Lands looks very similar to it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Pearl Abyss. I don't remember Pearl Abyss.
I don't either.
But yeah, hey, you know what? It seemed neat. Always been intrigued by it.
And now you can play it for free.
Yeah.
At least for this month. Or you can download it for free.
Now I can download it for free.
The other one is Generation Zero.
Which I've heard
that's
about.
A first-person shooter about, you fight robots, essentially.
Is it a first-person shooter?
That's what I've heard. Stand by.
Oh, Vice also says that the game itself is good as fuck.
Ah,
it's good. Is good as far as I know.
Okay.
Okay. Monetized, but good. Yeah, I thought Generation Zero was like a pixel art RPG.
No, it's not. It is very much not that. That does
Okay,
not look
I'm
like
thinking of
pixel art.
something completely different.
Yeah.
Wait, was this? Oh, I'm starting to get flashbacks. Was this from the developer of Homefront?
Well, they're out of Sweden. Was Homefront made in Sweden? I don't know who the developer is. Actually, I can tell you who the developer is in a half second. The developer is Avalanche Studios.
Really? Avalanche did this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely a first-person shooter.
That might be worth checking out. Avalanche usually makes pretty compelling stuff.
And I guess it looks like a zombie apocalypse, but it's not. It's a robot apocalypse.
Slightly different.
Yeah, it is.
And AC Wraith corrected me. Crimson Desert is the Gamescom game that we looked at. That's from the developer Pearl Abyss, who also does the game we're just Black Desert.
Black Desert. Okay.
Man, I remember hearing about this game when it came out, but I remember nothing about it. I just remember the name.
Wow, this is actually kind of cool.
Now, part of me wants to try to go back to old podcasts and hear what people thought about it.
Yeah.
This really is like hunting robots.
Uh-huh.
It's like, oh, I got myself a big game robot.
Yeah, this is not looking bad. And it's unlike zombie apocalypse games where it's a first-person shooter, but you're being swarmed. It doesn't seem like this is a swarm thing. It looks like this is more tactical. But maybe it's because we're looking at through a sniper.
That could be. I mean, hey, could be worth trying out.
Yeah. So you can try it out for free this month. So on PlayStation, starting tomorrow. No, Monday.
Yeah, tomorrow is Monday.
Oh, it must be Tuesday because it's starting the 5th and it's the 3rd today.
Okay.
Next, and I'm going to let you handle the next story because don't forget to bring up the tag. I need to go to the bathroom because I drank a bottle of water like an idiot. So I'll be right back.
Okay. Let me see what my next story was. Oh. So, Arcane, I think this happened at a recent League of Legends convention. Oh no, it was from a Twitter account shared by League of Leaks, which suggested that Arcane Season 2 is on track to release in Q4 of 2024. So like the October to December timeframe, which It's a really, really long time, and like a frustratingly long time. I think Arcane remains like one of the best video game adaptations like ever. It was just like a really solid, great show all on its own. But I can't. When did that show come out? Because the time between seasons just seems like almost irresponsible. In season one, it came out in 2021. So yeah, that would be 3 years between seasons. Uh, and that's just insane to me. But at the same time, I think that's kind of the new normal, at least for a lot of streaming services. I know that the Game of Thrones prequel series is going to have like 2 years between seasons, and I think the Lord of the Rings on Amazon has like two or more. And The Witcher season 4 came out this year, but I don't know when season 3 came out. I think there was a couple years, but yeah. Yeah, Vice says, I do not care for League of Legends at all, but the show was fire. Agree. That show was great. The show actually got me to play not League of Legends, but the Legends of Runeterra, which is the collectible card game set in the League universe, which is a good game, but not necessarily good enough to get me to stick with it. Uh, but yeah, it's frustrating just kind of how long it takes in between seasons. Oh yeah, AC Wraith makes a good point that COVID kind of stalled a lot of stuff. Except I don't know if Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings could be blamed on COVID. But League definitely could, because 2021 it came out in kind of peak pandemic time frame. So I guess we can give it an excuse there, but still, by the time season 2 comes out, I'm gonna have to rewatch season 1 because I've forgotten 90% of it. Uh, Moving on, and maybe it will get delayed by the strike, like everything else. So recently, let's see if I can bring up. I need to find this article. Oh no, here it is. So okay, yes, SAG-AFTRA is now saying that they will start voting on whether or not to strike for video game companies as well. Voting on the strike will be held between September 5th and September 25th. And basically, they're looking to get the same thing they offer the movie studios. They're seeking an 11% increase in wages for performances and protections from AI. And at least in the game space, there's already instances of like actors being replaced by AI, especially in modding communities.
Mm-hmm.
And so they are in negotiation with specifically Activision, Disney, EA, Epic, Insomniac, Take-Two, and WB Games. And so I don't know. Because the thing is, like, I don't think all of those companies are in a union, right? Not like the movie studios are in their same union. Like the movie studios have a core group. It was I forget the name of it, but like that group is what you always see represented. This is more of a disagreement with individual companies. And I guess SAG-AFTRA, this is from Video Games Chronicles. SAG-AFTRA has a separate contract with video game publishers that was recently extended to November to allow these talks to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know how expansive that contract is. I think the contract this article is talking about is only for the companies I mentioned, but other companies might, in the same way independent studios can still make movies because they agree with the actors and writers demands. I'm sure indie game studios can continue to get made as long as they agree to these demands.
Right.
But it's funny to think that like, oh, yep, we got one strike going on. You got another strike going on. 3 strikes going on.
You're
Everybody's on
out.
strike.
Yeah, well, that's the way unions work, is that
I mean,
you don't
I
cross
would,
picket lines, and that it's a really good time to hit an industry and demand what you want when the
yes,
industry's already struggling.
and
It puts you in the driver's seat.
I imagine it's more important for them with video games because I think
Mhm.
AI can more easily replace voice actors than
It
it can
absolutely
like
can.
physical actors.
Yep.
But at the same time, uh, video games have existed without voice actors for a long time. And so I can imagine some of these companies being like, no, we're just going to go text only.
Yeah. You could go text them
Yeah.
voice
In fact,
acting,
I
but if
think,
they did, one of the things that becomes an issue with many of these games is the quality of voice actors. I mean, how many years, speaking of Elder Scrolls, how many years did we just rip Bethesda for their bad voice actors? And then they came back and said, and this next Elder Scrolls will have better voice acting. We'll do a better job with the voicing. Voices matter.
yeah, they do.
It
When you
absolutely
get them,
matters, especially when it comes to immersion, and I don't as AI gets better at it, it will be able to emulate it way, way, way easier than actual movies or television, and I 100 support. I think that they should have been the first ones on the picket line for that. Um, but, at the same time, the idea of making everything text in order to avoid paying actors, I think, is also a mistake.
it's a mistake. But I was reading something earlier, like earlier this week, about Starfield and how originally the character was planned to have a voice, like the protagonist in Fallout 4 did. But
Mhm.
Bethesda eventually decided against that for various reasons. They're like, people don't want to select a dialogue choice and then listen to someone speak the choice they just read. And also, we don't want to give your character a voice because, then that's kind of limiting. Uh, so it's like a lot of thoughtful reasons about why they would choose to go voiceless for the protagonist. But at the same time, everyone else in that game is voiced.
Mhm. Yeah.
And it's interesting to see how much voice acting has become a staple of big budget games. Everything like the voice acting, it's kind of a symbol, a means to set your game apart from an indie game.
Mhm. Right. All right. Any other items you have?
That's all I got.
Let's see, what have I got? We've talked about Volition. Actually, you're right. We should just delete them. Talked about Elder Scrolls. Talked about PSPlus. We talked about Sony's price hikes. Oh, my last item. Oh, I get the last item today. That's cool.
I mean, I can find something else.
No. Soon as those words went out of my lips, I realized I had made a horrible tactical error. This was the moment she knew that she fucked up. Uh, so, um, if you're into strategy games like me, got some good news for you. If you weren't already aware of it, Steam Strategy Fest is on now. If you have thought about getting any of your strategy games, might want to do it now. Um, these include card and board games, city and settlement builders, grand strategy and 4X strategy games, military strategy games, real-time strategy games, tower defense games, turn-based strategy, some of them up to 90% off right now. For example, Armello is 70% off. Heroes of Might and Magic 3D HD Edition is 75% off. Icewind Dale Enhanced Edition is 70% off. Civ 6 is 90% off. Stellaris is 70% off. Man, Stellaris to this day, I have to get back to it. That makes Crusader Kings look like, the reading of for Crusade to play Crusader Kings, the studying to do Crusader Kings, be the equivalent of like a fairy, like a nursery rhyme. compared to what Stellaris is. Baldur's Gate 2 Enhanced Edition is 65% off. Cultist Simulator, which I am going to be picking it up, is 66% off. DeMeo, which is a roguelike board game, is 40% off. Northgard is 70% off. Farthest Frontier is 15% off. Timberborn and Kingdoms Reborn are both 20% off. And the ones that I'm also looking at, Anno 1800, which is 75% off. Farm Manager 2021 is 51% off. And other ones, Wandering Village. Remember the one that I showed you about it's kind of a builder strategy game where you're building a village on the back of a moving behemoth.
Yes.
And then, that's which I'm totally buying. It's 25% off. Crusader Kings 3 is 30% off. Age of Wonders 4, 20% off. Pirate game Shadow Gambit, The Cursed Crew is 10% off.
Oh, I've heard that game comes from the developer of Shadow Tactics, Blades of the Shogun, which was a great isometric stealth game. Unfortunately, I just read that developer got shut down. Like
Oh.
right as the game came out.
Oh. So
So
yeah, Shadow Gambit.
that sucks. But that's cool. I've heard Shadow Gambit's really good.
Dune Spice Wars is 20% off. Spirit Island 50% off. Total War 3 Kingdoms, which is a really good game, 50% off. And Plebby Quest The Crusades is 80% off. There's tons more available, so you have until tomorrow. Head over to Steam if you're interested. But yeah, it ends September 4th. And I'm assuming that means American time. So I don't know if it's like a rolling ending. So if you're in, say, Australia, where it's September 4th already, you might want to head over there now. And that's all I
got. We got information from first AC Wraith says news for Edie. Hori is a manufacturer that's making like racing wheels for Farming Simulator. Basically, get a Steel Battalion-esque setup with pedals and
I love this. I love this. Why are you telling me this before I'm about to spend a bunch of money on a trip? Okay. And what's worse is that I can know now that Kevin is no longer with us, I have no one to ask for things like this who would understand, who would be okay with, who I feel comfortable asking for things like, I want a $300 video game controller. I can't ask for that anymore. Hades is Vice says Hades has amazing voice acting. Yeah, I am such a whore for good voice acting. Seriously, if you can go back 15 years to the beginning of GameHounds, and you will hear me talk about how important voice acting is, how I love a game because the voice acting is so good, or how a game really gets on my nerves because the voice acting is so bad. Elder Scrolls 3, 4? One of them. I think it was 3. Elder Scrolls 3. I remember specifically just ripping into them because there was the voice acting I couldn't stand. I like the game despite it. I remember saying that. It's always been important to me. So that's why it's terribly important to me that the actors, especially now that there's a whole lot more being demanded of them to make a game, get well paid for what they're doing. They deserve it. Anybody who's listened to Jennifer Hale knows what the difference between good voice acting and bad voice. Anybody who remembers Destiny when it first came out with an Dinklebot knows how important it is to have a good voice actor.
I liked Dinklebot. But I will. Anyone who hasn't seen a game with bad voice acting Like when it's bad, I remember years ago, I reviewed a game for the old website I used to write for.
Pop
And
Matters?
yeah, Pop Matters.
Mhm.
And it was a pretty good like JRPG, but the voice acting for it was so bad. It was laughable. And every time they talked, I was just like, "Oh my god, I
Do you
can't
remember
believe
the name
this."
of the game? I would love to pull up that trailer right now,
Oh,
or
let's see.
some gameplay. And I remember, like, what's known as kind of the worst voice acting of a game of an all time, and I don't remember the name of the game, but I remember it was a game that the voice acting was kind of an afterthought. So the developer or somebody, it was coder or somebody, brought in his kids and they did the
Hmm.
voice acting for it and essentially just read off a script, and it's horrible. I can't remember the name of the game, but it's kind of legendary of bad voice acting. Kudos to anybody who could figure out what game that was. Is that it? The original That Wizard came the wizard came from the moon.
And they took that line
Oh,
out.
it's $400? Oh, I am looking this shit up right now. Amazon, huh? It's really, you can buy it on Amazon? Farming vehicle simulator. Is this the one from Logitech? 'Cause Logitech has one as well. Hori. Yeah, Hori has one, but Logitech also has one. It is currently unavailable. That is how popular that is. Oh my god. Let's see if I can find it. Here. No. Oh, add to the stream. Sorry. Yeah, look at this thing. Oh, for the PS3, PS4. Oh yeah, it's older one. God, this thing's awesome. Logitech should just make that available for PlayStation 5. But let's see. Where's the one that's Hori? Okay, there's the Hori one. Oh, $400. Oh my god. That is insane. Oh, it's even got like the little handle thing up here to actually for turning. That is cool. It's got a turn signal. Oh my god. I love it. And a horn. Ah. I am in love with this. This thing is awesome. Yeah, I'm very that's honestly, I think that's oh god, look at this thing. It's gonna be released on November 16th. I think that is alarmingly expensive. I think that that needs to be that price needs to be readjusted, or better yet, Logitech needs to take this one right here, that one, and they need to just make it available for the PlayStation 5. That's all they need to do. Eating lost in the steering wheel sauce right now. I am. Hey, Andrew, you're here. You need to vote. We're voting.
Oh yeah,
I'm
I saw him.
voting right now.
He sent a text.
Oh, what did he say?
2027.
2027. Okay, so I'm 2028. You're 2029. He's saying 2027. Chunder's 2026.
Yep.
Anybody else want in on this of when Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out? Whoever wins gets a copy of Elder Scrolls 6. And if I'm not alive at that time, I'm writing it in. I'm going to make sure that my estate knows that they're buying you a copy of Elder Scrolls 6. I've got your back. I am fully aware of how old I am and how old I will be in 2028. Diablo 4 is having a 25% XP and gold. I'm assuming sale. Guess trying to stem the exodus to Starfield. Yeah. It's not going to work. They're doing it for 5 days. Also, not going to work. That's not enough. Okay, goalie says 2026. Goalie's in there with Chunder. So are you writing this down, Nick? Nick, and I don't know if you're just joining us, that Nick has actually been keeping track of our predictions for what, like almost a year now? And so he has expanded his Post-it note.
No,
and
it wasn't
now
a year.
actually has the Elder Scrolls scroll.
We made the initial bet in like 2022.
Really? Has it been that long?
Because Andrew said 2023, so it must have been before then.
Oh,
I've kept this sticky note.
We would know. What was the date on that? Because AC Wraith will know. What was the date of that episode?
He'll be able to say.
Yeah, I have to scroll back to see what was the name of the episode. I remember is Edie doesn't give a fuck or something like that. Edie has 0 fucks. Let's see. Old bookmark. Let's see. It is episode 595. We're at 690. So we're talking about 2 years ago. More than 2 years ago.
No. Yeah. 2022. Oh, yeah. 2022 would have been 2 years ago.
Right. So 595, that's almost 100 episodes. 52, in theory, 52 episodes is a year, but it's obviously not, because there's sometimes we take days off, weeks off. So it's probably more than 2 years ago that we made that prediction. So yeah. Let's see. They will have to split the copy of the game. Yeah, you only get one game. You get to fight each other for it. No, I'll buy you both a copy. Wash your mouth out that you won't be around in 2029. Hey, on 2029, I am going to be 63 years old. Yeah, that's a thing. It is definitely possible, especially given the history of everybody around me. It's entirely possible. So yeah, it's possible. Just, I'm not saying I want it to happen. I'm saying that you got to be prepared. And I'm making a preparations to ensure that I make good on the promise that I will buy you, the winner, a copy of Elder Scrolls 6. 63 years young, you mean? No, those are very, those 63 years were hard and well earned. YouTube estimated 2 years ago. Yeah, it's definitely more than 2 years ago, because we haven't had 52 episodes in a year for, I don't think, ever. So yeah, you are now all on the record. And if Goalie's not around, remember, Goalie's the same age as me. Goalie's going to be in his 60s. You have a date?
Found it. Found it. I found the game. I had to look through an archive of my writing going back to 2010.
Oh, wow.
Arc Rise Fantasia. ARCRISE Fantasia.
Okay, we're pulling up gameplay, no commentary.
I say that the opening cutscene is the worst.
Okay, good. Perfect. We are going to be playing the first cutscene. All right, stand by.
Arc Rise Fantasia makes a terrible first impression with an opening CG cutscene that showcases its worst flaws. The voice acting is bad, the dialogue is awful, and it looks like no one put any effort into lip syncing. There are several long seconds when a character continues to speak after the mouth is closed. It's embarrassing to watch. Thankfully, these opening minutes are the lowest point of the game. Unfortunately, the rest of the game doesn't strive to be much better.
All right. Can you hear it, everybody?
Yes.
God, it sounds like an old recording. Oh, was it a Wii?
Yeah, it was a Wii game.
Marvelous entertainment.
Is it really? Is it really marvelous? Apparently not.
Andrew says it's a bit loud.
It's a lie on both counts. Wow, it
Okay,
really
okay.
makes you want to believe it's a big game.
Yeah. Okay, skip ahead some. Like just a couple seconds. Yeah, let's get through all the menu crap. Okay, stop there.
It looks
Oh
gorgeous. Is this it?
no. Looks like it.
Are we gonna get demonetized or something for this music?
I don't know.
I hope not. I'm just gonna be on the safe side and just roll it back so that I can just get to like where they're actually talking.
Yeah, we need
I'm
to get to
afraid.
some voices.
Yeah, where are some voices?
Nah, skip ahead.
Now you're going down.
Well, so you
Okay.
open with a fight. Is this it?
I think this is it, yeah.
Oh no! Filbert! Oh,
Whoa!
what the?
What the?
It turned into a music video. With, oh gosh. Let's see if we can... Come on. Talk. One of you talk. One of you say something. Well, this is what it would be if they did not have voice actors.
Yeah. AC Wraith has a link. Voice acting masterclass, Arc-Rise Fantasia. That might
Okay.
be better, has like a super cut.
There we go.
Has
Oh.
returned to the earth.
You saved me, didn't you? Well, thanks. That was close.
His
But
mouth
that
doesn't even
wasn't
move.
magic, was it? Him magic, perhaps? Surely not. Are you a coder?
Ah,
Hey, whoa.
I'm sorry.
You really took a beating. What's a girl doing out here?
Fuck you.
Girl? Are you talking about me?
Oh,
Well,
she's not.
yeah,
she's
I don't know your name.
Doesn't speak.
Yeah, there's
Sorry,
an
I wasn't trying
accent
to be
there.
rude.
Yeah.
I'm Lark, and you are...
Rude? What is rude?
What?
I thought you were going to call me girl. Do you call everyone girl?
What? What are you talking
Oh my
about?
god, the lip sync is bad.
I'm a diva, but you can call me
I'm a
Rifia.
diva.
Huh? What kind of a weirdo are you?
A weirdo? A derogatory term for a strange person.
Huh?
Yeah, she's Japanese or
wrong with
Asian
you?
because of the R's.
Mm-hmm.
Oh dear. Are you angry?
No, but I'm getting annoyed. Well, whatever. Okay, Rifia, right? Let's just get you somewhere safe for now. There might be more fell dragons around here.
Oh, it is
Somewhere
pretty bad.
safe?
Yeah.
Both me and this guy are lost.
Yep.
And he's even, are you a coder? Why, yes, every one of our voice actors are. I'm gonna have to watch that voice acting masterclass.
Let's see. Let me see if I can find it. Arc-Rise Fantasia. Voice acting master class. All right, here we go.
You planned to kill us all along, didn't you?
So you finally realized, huh? Luna, if you will.
My pleasure, sister.
Oh no.
Strange. It's sunny, but it's raining.
The devil must be beating his wife.
Who? Beating his what?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
The man who uses law to bring understanding to the world. That's you, Lark.
Phew, that's stupid. I have absolutely no idea what you're talking about.
Do you need guards to escort you?
Not for this trip, no. Besides, I've got Lark here.
My prince, I don't know if you should be so familiar with a common legionnaire.
Oh, it's so
Oh,
much.
it's so, yeah. They're just reading off a
You're
script.
hurt. Let me heal you with magic.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Ah! Help me! I don't want to die! Help me, Mr. Lark!
You know what? At least he put in some effort. He put effort into that.
That is awesome. All right. Yeah. Blood Reaper says, this looks like a cheap ripoff of Kingdom Hearts. Actually, I think this predates Kingdom Hearts. 2010? Doesn't it?
No, I don't think so. Kingdom Hearts came out like in PS2 era.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe. Actually, it looks like a ripoff of Final Fantasy is what it looks like. So, all right. I got nothing else. I gotta get ready to pick up somebody at the airport and give them my car.
Oh, wait, I just want to read this sentence from my review.
Mhm.
The story reaches its peak of absurdity about halfway into the game when there's not just one surprise double cross, but 4 in a row. By the end of that cutscene, I was laughing at the voice actor's attempt to emote, and the story ceased to matter.
What is the Metacritic on that?
Oh, I have. Let's see. Arc Rise Fantasia. Okay, if I type in 64.
Oh, that
8
hurts.
8.2 user score.
Really?
That I mean, I'm sure someone played it and enjoyed it, and those 16 people gave it positive reviews.
Oh, the podcast date. Oh, bless your heart, dear. May 23rd, 2021. So yeah, a year and a half, actually. That's impressive. So two and a half years. 2.5 years.
Holy cow! Someone had a positive review for Arc Rise Fantasia in September 11th, 2021.
Really?
There's 2 reviews in 2021. Look.
This
People
is
have
the
a
meme.
people have a Wii. They need something to play for the Wii.
Mm-hmm. Chaos says, this is the meme. Kid, Mom, I want Final Fantasy. Mom, we have Final Fantasy at home. Final Fantasy at home, Arclight Fantasia.
Mhm.
Most likely drunk.
Most likely drunk.
Oh yeah, yeah, that was your birthday.
What was?
May 23rd.
Oh. Cool.
So yeah, there you go. There's the thing we will always remember it by is that we made the very, very first bet on Elder Scrolls 6 on Chaos's birthday. All right, so I gotta go. Like I said, get ready, get my car ready for giving it to a friend to use for a week, and hopefully she'll buy it and take care of my dogs in the process. So, anything else you want to that the day we were so wrong. Yeah. Yeah, and we were. Anything else we want to talk about before we wrap this up other than the fact that I will be on about what was I said 7:45? Uh what did I say 7:15? So I said
I
7.
think you said 7:45.
Yeah, 7:40. Was it 7:15 or 7:45? What did I say? I have to look that up. But let's just call it 7. No, I said 7:30, 7:45. So let's make it 7:30, 7:45ish tonight. I will be playing Starfield. I will be starting it for the first time, getting it under wraps so that you can actually see what it's like from minute you press play after loading it up. So I will look forward to seeing hopefully all of you there. Then it's going to be here on Twitch. So no, like we haven't run any music or anything bumpers, or so I'll just say if you like this, please, if you're sitting here on YouTube right now watching, hit the subscribe button right now. If you don't feel like subscribing, that's cool. Just hit the like button. It makes a very big difference. It helps us immeasurably. So if everyone who watched on YouTube hit the like button, everyone on Twitch hit the like button every time that you watch one of these, you can't imagine the difference that would make. So please do that right now. If you are on Twitch, also subscribe. Another one of those situations where if you haven't subscribed to us, please do so. It does make a difference. And also, if you have Amazon Prime and you have not given away, assigned your free subscription to a Twitch channel that you get one from Amazon Prime. If you haven't already claimed that for some other podcast or some other stream, consider us. We would love to have it. It also very much makes a difference because we have patrons. We also get a very small amount from Twitch, but it makes a difference. It really, really does. It helps us pay for the subscriptions that are necessary for us to watch everything. Like YouTube, I have to subscribe to YouTube Premium because otherwise, whenever I play something to play in the background, like what we just did, I would be getting ads. But I have to pay for Premium. It's one of the many subscriptions that you don't even really think about until you don't have it, and then it's really painfully obvious. So
Yes.
I do appreciate everything, and of course, every penny of it goes towards the show itself. We don't get rich off this, clearly. So have a great week. Please be safe. Please be aware that COVID is out. It's having a summer surge. It's out there rolling around, and it's going to get a lot worse coming the next month or two. So do get your booster if you haven't already gotten one. Wash your hands. Keep your fucking fingers out of your goddamn noses, because that's how you get it. And when you're in close proximity to people you don't know, wear a fucking mask, because I like you. I love you. I want you here. You're important to me. I want you watching every week. This is purely selfish. We need every one of you to come back every week. Love you guys. Have a great week, everyone. Oh, until tonight, later on tonight, 7:30, 7:45-ish, Starfield with me
Edie will
here.
be playing Arcrise Fantasia.
I will pay cash money for you to play Arcrise Fantasia on the stream. It's a Wii game, so I don't think you can.
Yeah, that would be tough.
Yeah.
I mean, I did say I would stream horror games.
That's true. October. We are all streaming horror games in October because I ain't going to be around. Although I'm going to do my best to try and do some streaming because I do have my GoPro.
Oh,
I'm going to
yeah.
try. Yeah, I have my GoPro 9 that I'll be able to stream with. So I will see if I can stream. But at the very least, maybe upload some stuff to let you know I'm alive.
Okay.
Here on at least on YouTube.
I did buy that camera.
You bought the GoPro?
Yeah, it's on its way.
Yay! Yeah, that November. You know what? November and December. That's a perfect time to do cooking shows.
True.
You're gonna have to make a whole different channel and just put it there of you just being a nightmare in the kitchen.
I'm better than that.
I've already got the first recipe that you're gonna be making.
Oh,
You're gonna
okay.
be making lemon gnocchi in a brown butter sauce.
No idea what that is.
It's good. Bye, everyone.